This is just next level. Two more big Gene Hackman updates, even though I thought that story was over. No, there's been quite the resurgence in news today. Hello, my fam. Perez Hilton here, the queen of all media, the original influencer. And earlier, I shared with you all the information that a health report revealed that the Hackman's home in Santa Fe was overtaken by rodents. Gene's wife, Betsy, died of hantavirus, which is spread by rodent excrement or urine. There were rodents, dead and alive, throughout their property, in their cars, but thankfully not in their main house. The police also released body camera footage that showed the state of their home. I shared with you all images from that can best be described as cluttered. I don't think hoarding, but definitely overwhelmingly cluttered. Gene's wife, Betsy, was his caretaker and also seemingly the property manager. He was 95, she was in her early 60s and dealing with his health issues. He had advanced dementia, he had heart issues, he had high blood pressure. It was a lot. One of their dogs sadly died alongside of Betsy. It was in a crate in the bathroom. But one of the dogs that lived, body camera footage showed that dog beside Betsy, protecting her. Additionally, per a new official report from the authorities in Santa Fe, we've learned Betsy's internet search history in February, just before her passing. Betsy's computer showed that she had several open bookmarks on February the 8th and again on the morning of the 12th. She died just a few days after that. She was researching symptoms, apparently the corona and flu-like symptoms. She typed in questions like whether the COVID causes dizziness or nosebleeds. She was having dizziness or nosebleeds? Remember how she had called up a doctor just seemingly what was either the day before she died or the day that she died, and she wasn't complaining of any respiratory issues per that doctor. Maybe she didn't think it was that serious. Hantavirus, the pulmonary version that she had, causes symptoms like fatigue, fever, muscle aches, especially in the thighs, hips, back, and sometimes shoulders. It also can bring about headaches, dizziness, chills, abdominal problems, including nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. And get this, the CDC states that early symptoms of hantavirus are easily confused with influenza, the flu. As we know from the pandemic, the corona also has similar signs like fever, chills, cough, shortness of breath or difficulty breathing, fatigue, muscle aches, headache, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea. So it's no wonder she was searching those things. And Betsy was not the only one under the weather just before her death. So was Gene. On the morning of February 11th, he woke up with flu or cold-like symptoms, and she gave him a COVID test that came back negative. But the classically trained pianist didn't risk anything, and she reached out to her massage therapist to reschedule an appointment that she had, out of an abundance of caution. That same day, February 11th, we are now learning that Betsy purchased several Boost oxygen canisters. She may have already been struggling to breathe by then. Her last internet search had been for a healthcare provider in Santa Fe on the morning of February 12th. And what's even crazier is she had an appointment for a healthcare visit on February 10th, just a couple days before she passed, but she didn't make it to that appointment. And the other big story, you may remember, as I told you previously, Gene Hackman intentionally left his children out of his will. That's not to say that they may not receive anything. He also had an estate, and the estate trumps the will, and perhaps in the estate, allocations were made for his 3 adult children. They're seniors themselves. And one of his adult children has already retained a lawyer that specializes in wills and estates, not necessarily planning to contest anything, but just to be lawyered up. Well, People magazine is now reporting that both Gene and Betsy were, quote, recently laid to rest in Santa Fe. There was a small private memorial for the couple who were married for over 30 years, and Elizabeth, Leslie, and Christopher Hackman, all 3 of Gene's children, were at this private small funeral. So, even though their dad cut the 3 of them out of his will, and even though they had not seen him in years, they were at the funeral. Thoughts? Let's discuss it all in the comment section.